But joining us right now to kick off hour number 3 is one of my favorite human beings on the planet, and thrilled to have back here on the Rich Eisen Show in advance of him bringing his acclaimed stage production, the Terry Bradshaw Show, back to Branson, Missouri, starting this spring. The great Terry Bradshaw. How are you, Terry?
Good morning, sir. How are you doing? Aloha from the beautiful state of Hawaii.
Is that where you are right now? Is that where you are?
I am. We've been over here about a week. About a week. Then I had some work to do, and we went back for 3 days, and we're back again. And we're here actually 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and then all the kids come over in 10 days, and so we'll be over here about a month.
Are you a Big Island guy? Where in Hawaii?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I am a Big Island guy. We're
nice.
We're located at Kohala Ranch up on the volcano, about 1,900 feet above sea level. It's nice.
Man, Terry, you're the man. I really appreciate you taking time from Hawaii. My gosh, from your time out, zooming in here, because I honestly was thinking when I was leaving the Super Bowl and Mahomes did it again.
Yeah.
Who can I talk to who has as many, if not more, rings and knows what it's like to do back-to-back? Who can I talk to about that?
Well, Brady wasn't available. I'm the original TB, so you want to talk to me, Rick?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Plus, I'll return your phone call, and I'll be right here for you. Not a problem.
Well, us Michigan men do like to try to stick together. But all that said, what went through your temples when you watched Mahomes do his thing on Super Sunday night?
The fourth quarter, I felt like the game was Kansas City's. I thought the first 3 quarters with neither offense being able to do anything, defensive playing both defenses I thought were playing well. I like the scheme the 49ers had set up for Mahomes. There were no exciting plays offensively. All the big plays were defensively done in the first 3 quarters. And then, they kind of, Kansas, when the 49ers took the ball in overtime, I kind of thought maybe they should have passed on that and let Kansas City have the ball first. But I understood it because their defense had been on the field so long. They needed to rest them. So that made sense, too. But I thought by the time the fourth quarter got going, I saw that momentum had switched to the Chiefs' side and that they would win, especially because in games like that, when teams are kind of evenly matched, I think you tend to go right to the quarterback and say, all right, do I want, the young kid from 49ers, Purdy, or do I want the guy Mahomes who's electrifying? And obviously that would be your choice. If you're tossing it up and down, that would be the way to look at it.
Well, obviously, knowing what it takes to win a game like that from the position that Mahomes plays, I'd imagine you'd want to know if you had a fourth down, you could go for it, right? So that was the conversation about the overtime, is that you're not only giving Mahomes the ball and knowing what he needs to do, but for half the field, a fourth down, 4 shots at it, right?
Well, you know what? Hey, Rich, you know what? I thought the RPO, Kansas City's version of the run-pass option, which was really run, ride in, pull out, read, run. They ran that play twice, and it was huge first downs for Kansas City, especially in overtime. So I thought Andy Reid was just an amazing coach. I think America appreciates him more and more and more. He's getting he's in his 60s, and he's a little chubby guy, and he stands over there on the sideline with that mustache. We see I have the vision of it frozen. So in the playoff game, and you just have so much respect for his offensive mind. And when a person says offensive mind, all you're talking about is formations. All these formations and all this movement to create that one-on-one or that confusion on a defense. And I thought Andy Reid was just brilliant, in this football game. Have they ever given the MVP to a coach?
I know, right? I know.
Hey, you ever thought about that?
I know. I don't believe so, but I understand. MVC, the most valuable coach in the game, and he's an old school guy too, but
Yes.
but he does relate to the current players in a way that that is the envy of many, and he's able to, I guess, let things roll off his back in real time. I imagine you never went up to Chuck Noll and gave him an earful like Travis Kelce did in the middle of the game to Reed, right, Terry? You never did that to Chuck?
No, I never. No, are you kidding? No, I never did that. First, let me explain something to you, Rich. Once again,
yes, sir.
I called my own plays, so I didn't have anybody to deal with but myself. All right, so yes,
yeah.
Hey, listen, I know some people out there are watching this going, well, an arrogant guy. No, folks, you don't understand. Us guys that played in the 70s, we're so far down the totem pole when it comes to ranking quarterbacks because our numbers are so hideous and our interceptions are so high. So we reach and grab for anything we can get to remain, constant, and I never did, and nor would I ever have gone and done that to Chuck Noll. I did take his hands off of me one time and throw him down because he had a habit of grabbing me, but he would try to make a point. Well, I knew he was trying to make a point, but didn't need to grab me. And I remember taking his hands and throwing him down one.
How'd he take that?
He took it fine.
Okay.
He took it fine. Yeah, he understood. Chuck's smart man. He understood. He did the battle. It's like Travis Kelce. I felt bad for Andy because Andy had hip surgery.
Yeah.
He had his game plan in his hand. And when Kelce went over, Kelce didn't push him. I think Kelce went over and accidentally bumped him. I don't think he pushed him or anything. It was an accident, but it looked bad on television. And I felt bad for Andy. As a matter of fact, when the game was over, I texted Andy. He immediately, get this, he immediately texted me back. And I said, way to go. Played great defense for 3 quarters, 4 quarters, got in overtime, turned it over to number 15 and win the game. And he was quick to respond and very gracious in his response. Nothing about Kelce. And Kelce felt bad, and it's over. They won the football game.
They did. Terry Bradshaw here on the Rich Eisen Show. And listen, Terry, you got 4 and Mahomes is 3, and we all understand, numbers and things of that nature, right?
Yeah.
But and you just alluded to it that guys from your era are not included in the Mount Rushmore conversation very much because, it wasn't the passing league or anything like that sort of thing. But it was a grown-ass man league. That's for damn sure. You better be a big boy. So you're going to get your ass handed to you. And it was no faint of heart there, boy. It was a different football game completely. Not to say that these guys wouldn't be outstanding. Sure.
If they played, say, if Mahomes played for Pittsburgh, his numbers I don't think they'd be any different because they just, when you average 19 passes a game, they're not going to be different. They do 19 passes in the first 2 series now.
I know.
Just a different era. And sometimes I say to my wife, Tammy, who's on the other side of the computer here, and I say all the time, I wish I'd played in this era so that I could have, proven that I'm not a 52% completion guy. I'm much higher than I would be with the offenses they run and could throw for all the yardage and have all the touchdowns. And then everybody says, oh, man, he was so good. And then you say, whoa. I'm okay where I am. You sometimes wish that young people would realize it. See, I remember Bart Starr in the first 2 Super Bowls. I remember Namath when when they won the Super Bowl in 69 or 70 and in the merger of the NFL in 69 forced the merger actually. Mm-hmm. So I remember that. I remember playing against John Hadle, George Blanda. I played against Bart Starr, and the way the game was played back then. And it's not to say that it wasn't great football, but it was. I thought the first 3 quarters of the Super Bowl this year, 58, I thought was defense. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, I know America's sitting back there going, boy, this is boring. but it was so good to watch and see the strategy and how great both defenses were, quick to the ball. I mean, if you like great football, that was great football. I mean, I love that. And then you get tired. You got to understand, those big men, they're not little men. They're big men.
Yes.
You have to rush in the passer, rush in the passer, rush in the passer, rush in the passer. Hey, you eventually get tired. When you get tired, the brain makes mistakes, and Mahomes gets outside where he hadn't been able to get outside running, scrambling. So I really loved the strategy. And as a quarterback, I'm sitting there watching the defense, and I'm like, man, these guys, both teams are playing fabulous. And that's why you just had to feel like, and I was proud of Purdy. I thought he played extremely well under conditions that he was in. Got his team down there, tied the football, had the lead. Mahomes tied it, and we knew he would. You know, it's kind of like when I watch Brady play against Atlanta. I'm standing on the sidelines. He drives him down. What's his face makes that incredible, God, that catch.
Julio Jones made that incredible catch for Atlanta.
Julio made that catch.
That would have been
right. I was 4 yards from that catch. How he caught that ball, I'll never know. Because when the guy came up, he swiped at it, and Julio caught that ball right on the sideline, 22-yard line. And I'm like, oh, my God, was that amazing.
And I thought if they were going to win the game, Terry, that would have been up there with Lynn Swann and he's the greatest catches in the history of the Super Bowl. And instead we're talking about the overtime win and things of that nature.
The overtime, when they came back, when Atlanta came back on the very next play and tried to pass, I'm going, because I got a security guard there, not with me. He was just standing there. And I said, hey, this game is over now. Kneel down, kick a field goal. See you later. And they drive back to pass, and I hollered, you got to be kidding. That's right. Sack. Oh, my God. And the security guy's looking at me because I'm playing quarterback now. And then all of a sudden, they drop back again. Holding call, left tackle. Another 15-yarder. Well, there it is. And then, of course, they tried to get it, and they didn't get it. And Tom Brady got the ball, and I turned to the guy, Julian Edelman, when he made that catch. Remember that unbelievable catch Edelman made?
Yeah, the Boston knee party.
Oh, my God, yeah. I'm sitting right there. And I turned to the security guard, and I said, game over. I said, they're going to tie this game up, and then they'll win it in overtime. So sure enough, I even told Howie Long at halftime. Howie was so upset because Chris Long was playing for New England.
That's right.
They were down, 28-3, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
And I told Howie, hey, it's okay. Now they're going to do what they do best, and that's throw. And that's how they're going to get back in the game. So stop worrying. Exactly what happened.
Terry Bradshaw here on the Rich Eisen Show. So in the few minutes I have left with you, Terry, where do you place Mahomes in the all-time great? Where do you put him?
I'll do that when he retires, Rich.
Okay.
I would say right now, I always rate quarterbacks according to winning Super Bowls. Brady, obviously, Montana, obviously, great quarterbacks. And they always put Unitas in there. Nobody ever says anything about star. It's a different kind of way of playing. I would put Mahomes up there right now simply because he reminds me so much of Brady in the sense he is so fiercely competitive and so amazingly confident in everything he does, and a great leader. You can see that. So if I put Mahomes and Brady, Mahomes will give me the mobility to avoid sacks. Outside of that, then you've got Tom down there reading coverages, and between the 1 and 2, one's more athletic. They're both extremely accurate, both extremely, competent. So I would say in the modern day of football, as we know it now, in the last 20 years, then I would say I would probably take Mahomes just because of his athletic ability. But it's hard to say. The other guy's got seven Super Bowl titles. And Patrick is about to experience, he thought this year was tough. Wait till next year. Everybody will be after him. I tried to go for 3 Super Bowls in a row twice. Hey, Rich, it's exhausting. Everybody wants a piece of you. Everybody plays above what they're capable of playing. I mean, and you feel the pressure. There's a part of you that says, oh, my God, I got to play Cleveland again, Cincinnati again, Houston, all these teams. Let's get to the playoffs, because all you want to do is get to the playoffs. And that's what happened to Kansas City this year. They're flummeling around, looking bad. We're all going, what's wrong with Kansas City? And I'm going, nothing wrong with Kansas City. They're bored. They want to get to the playoffs. And that'll be the same approach, Rich, they'll have next year. They'll struggle. They're going to probably struggle worse than they did. They'll probably have to go on the road again because Denver's going to be better. I guarantee you the Chargers are going to be better. The Raiders with Pierce leading the way, they're going to be better. It is not going to be easy in their division. So they're going to have a hard time. But bottom line is they're going to want to get through all of that, and they're going to say that we just get us in the playoffs. And if they get in the playoffs next year, if they make the playoffs next year, I think they're going to be the first team to win 3 Super Bowls, because I don't know who can beat them in the NFC. I just don't. They're going to have to get through, of course, Baltimore too. So it's going to be fun to watch. Couple of weeks out now,
you and me both, Terry.
I'm ready to go. I'm still watching television, and everybody's trying to hang on to football. If you go to the NFL Network, you can watch all you want. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the draft. I'm anxious to see the trades that are going to be made.
Yep.
I've had a couple of weeks off of football. Now I'm kind of, I'm ready to get back into it.
Before I let you go in your Hawaii Thursday, what's your opinion on who should be the Steelers' starting quarterback this coming season, Terry?
I love Pickett.
You do?
Kenny Pickett is I tell you what, Rich, I know him well, and he's fiercely competitive. He's tough-minded kid. Things don't bother him. I really like him a lot. Look, I'm going to say this for the 10,000th time this year. Surround not only Kenny, but any of these young quarterbacks, the kid with the Bears, surround them with talent. Why is Purdy successful with the 49ers, Rich? Look at all that talent, and look at that coach calling plays. And that kid's got the poise. Kenny has the poise. I just want my quarterback to be poised. All right? I just want him poised. If he's poised, then his brain's going to be calm. He's going to see the coverages. He's going to be quick with his decision-making. And Pickett has all of that. They're going to beat him up, and they're going to want to trade for Fields in Chicago. And I say that's a huge mistake. You don't need Fields. Stay with what you got. Just build him up. Get him another receiver. Get him an explosive tight end. Give him another tackle. Give him a guard. Have the ability to protect him, and then give him guys on the outside. This is the passing league now. Give him people out there that can run and catch the football and that are smart. He's fine. That's their guy. They're probably going to be a lot of negative about it, but that's the guy I would go with.
Yeah, Arthur Smith, too, being brought in to be the OC. I like that.
Exactly.
Right.
So do I. Arthur was one game away from staying in Atlanta.
That's right.
That was a heartbreaker for him. He's a good dude. Yeah,
so
good guy.
Are you making your burgers out there? Bradshaw Brands frozen burgers? You doing that? You're not,
no, they don't. No,
we got to bring them. You didn't bring them over?
No, they don't have them. They don't have them on the islands.
Okay.
No bourbon either. The bourbon company went kaput with flying away, so I have no bourbon. I got 3 bottles of Bradshaw bourbon left, and so
okay. Bradshaw Brands.
Okay. Hey, Rick.
Yes, sir.
Are you in L.A.?
Of course. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Do you have any land? Would you like a horse?
What? Oh, no.
Really? Anybody there want a horse? I really need to sell some horses.
Okay.
Give us some thought. Hey, you don't have to say this over there. Just give us some thought, man. Because
okay.
Boy, if I could just sell you 1 or 2 for what, $300,000-$400,000 then.
All right. Terry Bradshaw, brands.com/Bradshaw Ranch. Is that dash ranch? That's a way that they can reach out to you selling horses and obviously getting your Bradshaw Ranch thick and juicy burger patties.
That's it.
Okay, you do that. It. And then you got your show returning Branson this spring.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go back to Branson. We'll go back to Branson in April, and then we'll tour the country. And do some casino shows, big casino in theaters.
You're the best, man.
Trying to lose weight. Lost 24 pounds, Rich.
You look good. You look good, Terry. Yes, you do.
I don't look good.
What are you talking about? What are you saying? You look great.
No, I don't. Thank you. God bless you. How good do I look, Rich?
You look great. And this is high definition, Terry.
Hey,
Come
man,
on.
I'm telling you.
You got no makeup. You look great. It's your
for
it's the
all those
Hawaii glow.
75-year-olds. Hey, I'm telling you, man. I'd say, God, I feel so good. I look so thin. And then my buddy who's here playing golf with Tammy and I, he filmed me yesterday on a par 3. Mm-hmm. I went, first thing I did this morning when he sent it to me, the film to see my swing. Yeah. I went, I didn't see the swing. I went, look, honey, look at the gut. Are you kidding me? Look at the gut.
You look great.
Said, you look at the gut. You look great.
That's it. Come on now.
Struggle, man. It's a struggle.
You're the best, Terry.
I'm going to be an inspiration to all the older people out there, so I'm going to keep on going.
You are that. If you got 2 more minutes, you got a Burt Reynolds story for me. What's your go-to Burt Reynolds story, Terry? What do you got for me there?
A really good Burt Reynolds story.
Was it from Smokey the Bandit 2? Could it have been anywhere else? What do you got?
Well, one of my stories with doing Smokey the Bandit 2.
Okay.
With Burt and Sally and everybody was Jackie Gleason.
Okay.
I got to do a scene with Jackie Gleason.
Yeah.
And I told him, here comes Burt comes around at the Orange Bowl, and then here comes Jackie Gleason in that old jalopy car of his, and he's chasing Burt, obviously. And Burt says, hey, Turk, can you do me a favor? Can you stop, the car? And I said, oh, sure. And I go, hey, Joe, tackle that car. So Joe tackles and turns Jackie Gleason over. But I was sitting in the car with Jackie, and he had a gulp cup. Not kidding you. This huge gulp cup full of vodka. I'm like, wow, this is great.
So Jackie was hammering down Jackie Gleason was hammering down vodkas during the shooting of
great. We were talking football and having a good time, and he's drinking it. Asked me if I'd like a sip. No, I don't. but look, I double dated with Burt. Stayed at his house, stayed at his dad's house, went to his theater in Jupiter.
Look at that.
He and I became really good friends, and he really liked me, and I really liked him. And he was one of those guys who would call and say, hey, how you doing? You didn't have to call them. You know how it is. It's kind of like he's a movie star, and I'm just a football guy. So I have to always make the friendship connection. That wasn't Burt. Burt was always one call out of nowhere. Hey, how you doing? How you feeling? Good. You coming out? Coming out where? We're filming in New Mexico. And he'd give me the dates. He wanted me to just come out. And I went, no. I can't make that. I do have one story quickly for you.
Sure. What else, Terry?
I opened up my country music tour in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And I was singing at the Palomino Club. Remember the famous Palomino Club?
Sure.
And so I'm there. And Super Bowl was the week before, or 2 weeks, no, week before, probably 2 weeks, who knows. Anyway, Burt Reynolds went on NBC that night and did a skit about my brains and how dumb I was and so on and so forth. And Pittsburgh fans just annihilated him with letters and complaints and so on and so forth. And so I'm out in Los Angeles. He sends his agent, David Gershenson, who ended up being my manager for 43 years. He sends him out to the Palomino Club and has a giant horseshoe deal of carnations and a huge letter from him saying how deeply sorry he was. He didn't want to do the piece. He related to me a lot. He respected me and so on and so forth. Please accept this and would you come to the shoot tomorrow? I'd like to meet you and give you a hug and tell you I'm sorry in person. Well, I had a show in Albuquerque, New Mexico the following night. Mm-hmm. 2 nights. I had 1 day off for travel. And so David Gershon, I said, yeah, I'll go. So David picked me up and drove me out on the highway, probably an hour or so out of town. And there Burt was filming Hooper, the stunt movie. And so I go out there and he comes out of his trailer and we pull up and he grabs me, kisses me. on the cheek, and he tells me how much he loves me and he's sorry, and he gets everybody over to meet me, come meet Terry Bradshaw. Hey, man, he hugs me again. He says, have you got a few minutes? Do you have to rush off? I said, well, I got to go catch a flight, to so-and-so, but no, I'm not rushing off. He said, hey, how about doing this movie Hooper? And I said, Burt, I'm not an actor. He said, oh, I don't care. You don't have to. I want to make what I did to you up. I want you in this movie. So he calls Hal Needham, the director, over, and they get on the top of Burt's truck, and they're going through the copy of the movie. Where can we put him in? Where can we put it? Hey, right here. Let's make him a SWAT guy. So I was a SWAT guy from Houston, Texas. And I'm in the movie, my first movie, Hooper, and we're filming at the Palomino Club. Believe it or not, it was actually in the parking lot, dressed up to look like the Palomino Club with nothing over top. And my first scene was to go over to the jukebox, and I turn it off, and I tell him, I go back to the teller, I forgot the lines I was supposed to use. So when I stood over at the table, I pushed him back, and I threw some dialogue out like, hey, look, nobody messes. I just ad-libbed because I was embarrassed. I just ad-libbed, and they never stopped it. They liked it, and I hit him on the head with a deal, and we laughed. And he told me, first time I hit him, he said, no, hit me. I didn't want to hurt him. Burt Reynolds, hit me. So Burt, he says, yeah, it's already cracked. They stuck the helmet together. And if you watch it, you'll see the crack just blowing. I said, Burt, if I hit you hard, I might hurt you. You're not going to hurt me. Hit me. I said, you want me to hit you? I said, I'm going to hit you. And in the movie, I went, bam. And that helmet. And there he hits the ground. And I'm in panic form now because, my God, I thought maybe I knocked him out. That was my first scene with him, and then scene and hit me. It was
all born out of that skit, and then you wind up in Smokey and the Bandit 2, the Cannonball Run. You even did Evening Shade. I mean, my goodness, a lifelong friendship.
I did several Evening Shades with him, and he was. I mean, he loved for me. I don't know why he always wanted me to go out dating with him. We'd go to Donna Shore's house, and she'd have dinner, and she'd call me darling. And Sally Fields, I used to sit with her while she would, what do you call that? Crochet, whatever that crochet, whatever that. Yeah. She'd do that in between takes. And so I just became part of the family. His mom and dad were awesome. His brother was awesome. I kind of got into the family. Well, and he was a great man.
Terry, you are awesome, man. I could talk to you all day, and enjoy it's fun. Always fun chatting with you. Always. Love you, Terry Bradshaw. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much. Hey, listen.
Yes.
Okay. Don't let anybody know this, but the $300,000 I needed for the horse.
Yeah.
3,000.
Oh.
Don't let it get out. We're off the air, right?
Be well, Terry. Aloha. Mahalo for the 10% discount. There you go. There's Terry Bradshaw.
That was incredible.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.